A standing ovation there you can see as the First Lady of Ukraine, Olena Zelenska, addresses Congress, now shaking hands with all the various leaders there in the room. Pretty powerful presentation and speech with images from little 4-year-old girls to families, to even Holocaust survivors that she personalized, told their stories of how they were alive, surviving so much, even that Holocaust survivor, and then being killed, as she said, at the hands of the Russians in a war that just should not have happened. She showed the pictures of those rocket launches. A big thank you to the United States while appealing for more air defense systems and continued support. Let's bring in Patrick Reevell, who has been watching from Kyiv, Ukraine, along with our congressional correspondent Rachel Scott, also ABC News national security and defense analyst Mick Mulroy, and ABC News contributor Daryl Blocker, a former senior CIA field operative, all to talk about the First Lady's speech. Rachel, let's start with you. The First Lady had to spend these past several months apart from her husband for security reasons. Now she is here in the United States speaking before Congress, this appeal for more support from the United States. Let's just talk more about this role that she has been playing since the war began and what this appearance here in the U.S. and this plea and this speech means for her Ukrainian people.
And Kira, I thought it was so notable that she started off by saying, I'm coming to you not as the First Lady of Ukraine, I'm coming to you as a mother. I'm coming to you as someone whose country is now being ravaged, someone who has heard these stories, who has witnessed such immense destruction on her country, and that she was appealing, making this direct appeal to lawmakers to listen not only as lawmakers, but to listen as fathers, to listen as mothers, listen as citizens of the United States, and imagine if this toll was happening right here on their own land. She really showed the faces of Russia's terror, those young girls that have lost arms, that have been killed in this brutal war on Ukraine. And she said that she's speaking on behalf of all the mothers and all the children who would not be able to travel to the United States and address lawmakers themselves. She said it was very clear that she wants more weapons. She wants weapons for Ukraine to be able to defend itself at home. But I thought it was also very notable in that direct appeal that she made at the very end there, talking about how in just a few weeks, these very lawmakers that are sitting in those chairs listening to her will be leaving on August recess. They'll be going back home to their own families, maybe on summer vacations, continuing with their own plans. She said that Ukrainians have been deprived of that normalcy, Kira.
And Patrick, how would additional air defense systems help with those attacks that Russia continually ramps up and targets the innocent people there in Ukraine?
Yeah, you know, I think it would make a very big difference, and that is why she's making that her more or less single appeal during that speech. Every day here, there are missile strikes in Ukraine. You know, right now I'm standing in Kyiv, where the strikes have become far less frequent, but they certainly could happen again. I mean, she showed that picture of the 4-year-old girl who was killed last week in this terrible indiscriminate strike that hit Vinnytsia, which killed over 20 people. That just was several rockets that landed in the center of a city. And this happens all across the country. And so what she was appealing for was very clear. She said, we want more weapons and we want more air defense. And air defense is difficult, it's very expensive, and the systems are difficult to use. That's one of the things why they haven't received them yet. But still, that is clearly what her job was to do, was to appeal for air defense.
And Mick, politically, how does this speech by the First Lady, her presence here, impact the U.S. and its support for Ukraine?
So, Kira, I think it impacts it quite substantially. It was a very, very powerful presentation that really hit the aspect of this war that we hope we never see again since World War II, the deliberate targeting of civilians, including children. And quite frankly, as a parent, godparent, parts of that were very difficult to watch. But then she took that and said, that is what you're protecting. So when you're sending these weapons, they are protecting their children.
And Daryl, several Ukrainian officials, as you know, have been accused of treason for allegedly collaborating with Russia. What does this tell you about the state of morale in this war, Russia's strategy, and that Zelensky is losing some of his closest collaborators?
I think it speaks to the fact that both sides probably have folks that have sentiments that run to the other, even in the tight circles of Putin, even in the tight circles of Zelensky. They didn't perform up to the president's expectations, and that's his right to remove them.
Mick, Daryl, Patrick, Rachel, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.